Hello, I'm J. Paul Zimmerman here at the Long Beach Comic Con, and I'm speaking with.
I'm Nathan Seekerman, and I play Captain Solo Seekerman of the Star Wars Steampunk Universe. Hashtag SWSU.
Now, this, I'm sure you'll all agree with me, this is something pretty fantastic here. I really love the detail, I love all the pieces. Why don't you tell us about maybe your favorite piece from this particular costume and what you went through in order to make it or acquire it?
Sure, the wings are a favorite piece of fans and myself alike. They basically are a pneumatic system, so you can kind of see from the back here that the pneumatic system is a piston in the middle. I'm using a paintball gun boulder, and I have a valve here that allows them to come up and down. And there is a little bit of light effects in them. It's plasma light. In the middle, that is my flux capacitor for the steam engine, for the time travelers that can relate to that. Ultimately, about 200 hours of work and using spare paintball parts around that I had available that helped me evolve into a character piece. So my backstory as an airship captain, he needs to be able to move from the ground to his airship in case he's on the run, and that way the effect made sense with the overall character.
I like that. That's a really great backstory. Is this your first Star Wars steampunk character?
It is, in fact. I chose a cosplay for a convention to be in this steampunk genre because there are no actual archetypes, and so this started out as just Captain Seekerman. Very simple, straightforward, and then soon posing, it was very apparent that photographers wanted me to pose, do the solo pose. And then the little Alliance editions and the Empire editions on the goggles, and I've got a little Millennium Falcon. If you look, there it is. Right, so the little affectations began to increase, and just putting a red stripe down the pants sides helps people recognize what's going on there. And by saying it's a mashup, it makes perfect sense to people. So eventually I became Han Solo in the steampunk genre.
Well, that's certainly a lot of thought in there. I mean, and again, this piece is very, very detailed. Do you have any future projects? Anything? I mean, it might be very difficult to top this, but is there anything you're working on for the future that you'd really like to maybe bring to a con someday?
Someday I'd probably like to do a full armor piece. I really am fascinated with kind of taking this character and doing a steampunk armor that is more in the vein of something military, but also could be a temporary protection for Han Solo. So he's going on to this very dangerous planet and looking to do something that needs extra protection. Just evolving the character is really the biggest fun of it.
That's cool. I like that idea. Sort of sticking, with this character and taking it as far as you can go. That's really interesting. So I hear Star Wars Steampunk Universe does a lot of charity work. Did you want to? Sorry, let me do that again. I hear Star Wars Steampunk Universe does a lot of charity work. Is there anything you're particularly proud of that you'd maybe like to tell us about?
Sure. I'm really proud of just our overall charity work that we do. Personally, I got to get involved with the Salvation Army and support the kids. And my relationship to that charity is during the Great Depression, my grandmother moved from the East Coast to the West Coast, and it was Salvation Army that clothed the family of 5 kids and fed the family of 5 kids. So it was very personal for me.
That's really cool. That's a really great way to, give back, just bring it back around again. So that's very cool. I guess one last question: what are some of your other favorite cosplays that you've done in the past? What's the stepping stones that led up to this piece here?
Sure. One of my very first cosplays, oddly enough, was Evel Knievel, and it was the jumpsuit and the Stars and Stripes. Very patriotic, and at the same time, it wasn't until I had the helmet painted in all the pieces that people went nuts, because everybody wanted to touch the lucky helmet. Because that just leads to other things, because that was painting, that was sewing, and how to actually gather all the materials. And, as things went along, I've done Green Hornet, I've done Mad Hatter with the Johnny Depp version. So, you learn something each time. Like I hate wearing makeup. And ultimately, having done things that had an archetype already, then I stepped into, oh, I want to go totally blank slate, original. What would it be? Well, for me, it became an homage to my grandfather, who was actually part of World War II and was working on the planes in North Africa. That was the loan program that went through back to England, home country for my family, and helping, take care of what needed to be done during the World War II. So this is my version out of respect to my grandfather being a pilot.
That's really cool. Cosplay can be very personal.
This is Capt.